Alright, today has to be the day, because in the last video we got so close, but it still didn't start. So today we're going to try and figure out what's actually going on and hopefully finally get this car running. In the last video, we finally put the engine back into this 1978 Volkswagen Beetle, after rebuilding it from the ground up. After sitting for nearly 20 years, everything was finally back in place. Every bolt tightened, every hose connected, every wire reinstalled. And for a moment, it really felt like we were there. But when it came down to that one thing that actually mattered, nothing happened. We quickly realized something wasn't right. There was no spark, fuel delivery was questionable, and instead of hearing the engine come to life, we found ourselves back in troubleshooting mode again. And honestly, after everything that went wrong during the rebuild, that wasn't exactly what we were hoping for. So today, we're starting from there, trying to figure out what's missing, what's not working, and what's it going to take to finally get this engine to run. Because after everything we've done so far, after taking this engine apart more than once and putting it all back together again, the biggest question is, will we finally get to start this engine today? The first thing we do know for sure is that the voltage regulator is broken, because we measured that last time. So we got a new one, and that's the first part that we're going to replace.
Shiny.
Looks a whole lot better than the old one. And so we decided to start by replacing the voltage regulator. In the last video, when we connected the alternator, it immediately started getting hot, which was a pretty clear sign that something wasn't right. That's when we called my dad to help us figure it out. After going through the wiring and doing some measurements with a voltmeter, he came to the conclusion that the voltage regulator has most likely failed. And that's not something you want to ignore, because if we try to start the car like this, there was a real chance we'd damage the alternator again, or even worse, create new problems on top of the ones we already had. So before moving on to anything else, this had to be fixed first. Okay, let's see if we get a very big spark again when we connect the battery, because that was the case last time. No. No, we don't.
So it's still cold, not
Like
getting hot anymore.
Fully cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did get hot very quickly last time.
And it's not smelly. So that's one problem fixed.
We fixed something.
After 50 we gotta do.
Yeah, but this was the worst one.
No, this is actually nice to get something done and fix the problem.
Now let's fix the rest.
Yeah.
Now, I did get some comments from you guys saying that the lack of spark may be caused by the fact that the electrical system wasn't installed fully. So it may be that it has spark now, but there is something that we do gotta fix before we try to start it, and that's the lack of fuel. So we're going to take a look at the fuel pump now. So before trying to start the engine again, we decided to replace the fuel pump as well. Even though we rebuilt the inside of this engine with new parts, we've been reusing most of the components on the outside to keep the costs down. But when we tested the old fuel pump last time, it didn't do anything at all. So it looked like this was something we had to replace, but first there was something else we needed to test. I did get some comments from you guys saying that the length of this rod may be incorrect, causing the fuel pump not to function properly. So I just set it at top dead center, and now this length that's sticking out is supposed to be 4 to 5 millimeters, and it does look like it, but I'm going to measure it just to be sure. And so I moved on to measuring the part of the rod sticking out with a caliper. That confirmed the rod length was actually correct. We also checked whether the fuel pump pedestal might be too tight, as some of you guys suggested, but that didn't seem to be the issue either. Which meant the problem had to be in the fuel pump itself.
I think there's something is broken in here.
So after that bit of troubleshooting, we decided it was time to move on and install the new fuel pump along with some fresh gaskets. And of course, we really wanted to do things properly. Instead of just relying on the gaskets that came with the pump, we also added a thin layer of liquid gasket on both sides. That's something we've been told works best with these pumps since they can be prone to leaking. And after everything that went wrong earlier in this project, we weren't taking any chances anymore. Because by now, we have learned that it's often the small things that come back to bite you later. So even if it takes a bit more time, it is worth doing it right the first time, just to avoid having to take everything apart again afterwards. Now, we're not 100% sure whether this was broken or not, but we do think so, and we're going to replace it anyway because it's pretty, but we got a new ignition coil too. So on to the next step before attempting another start, replacing the ignition coil. And yes, I know functionality comes first, but I have to admit I was pretty happy we were replacing that old one. After spending an entire day repainting parts of this engine, it just didn't feel right to put that worn, flaking coil back on.
Same numbers.
Oh
4,
yeah.
15, 1.
It really stood out, and not in a good way. So even if it maybe wasn't completely necessary from a functional point of view, this just felt like something that needed to be done, because that old coil really didn't do the freshly painted fan shroud any justice. Well, before we go and check anything else, want to see if it's got spark already?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
I got a light also now.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, man.
Nope. Nope. As expected, still no spark. So we tried the old ignition coil again, just to rule that out. Nee. Well, still not fixed, of course. But I did get a lot of comments too that I should look at these contact points. So that's the next thing we gotta check, I think. There are a few different parts in the ignition system that could cause a lack of spark. Things like the electrodes in the distributor cap or the contact points themselves. Now, I've heard you shouldn't sand the contact points, but you can carefully clean up the electrodes. So that's what I went ahead and did. I just cleaned these contact points that did have some oxidation on them, so that was a very good tip. But in the meantime, Pascal looked up how the wiring is supposed to be connected to this new ignition coil, and it turns out we connected them the wrong way. So I'm going to reinstall the new ignition coil with the wires connected properly, and I'm going to reinstall this, of course, and then I think we're going to try again, and maybe we'll have better luck this time. So at this point, it really started to feel like we were going in circles a bit. Every time we thought we found the issue, it turned out to be something else. But at the same time, this is exactly how troubleshooting works. You try something, rule it out, and move on to the next possibility. And now that we had realized we wired the ignition coil incorrectly earlier, this actually felt like a pretty solid lead. So we carefully put everything back together again, double checking the connections this time, just to make sure we weren't making the same mistake twice. Nope. Nee. We think we killed the condenser by connecting the wiring the wrong way, but Pascal just called a local classic car garage or something and they got one. So we're quickly removing the old one and then we're going to pick up a new one and then hopefully that's it. Probably not, but hopefully. Well, we're back, and with this new condenser we can make our 100th attempt to fix this car. Yeah. No. Nee. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to fix it either. So I went back to the comments to see if there was anything else we could check before ordering more parts. One of you suggested measuring whether the ignition coil is actually getting 12 volts. That way we could tell if the issue was something in the wiring or further down the line. And after checking that, it became pretty clear The problem wasn't before the coil, but somewhere after it. Okay, so the ignition coil gets 12 volts. The ignition coil itself is new. I've cleaned these contact points, but there must be something wrong after the ignition coil. So I'm going to try and find a new rotor distributor cap. I'm sorry, I don't know the proper English terms for that. And then this thingy, distributor something, whatever, this thing that's inside. I believe you can get that new too, because I think something here is broken. There must be. But for now I don't have any new parts, so I'm going to look for that. And I think we've then replaced almost everything from the ignition system, so it must be fine then. I do think these contact points do look a bit corroded, so hopefully that's a problem, but I don't know. I just gotta replace everything, I think. Well, on to our second attempt for this video to fix this Beetle, and I think the first thing we're going to install new are the ignition points, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the first thing, but we got a lot of new parts. Alright, so that brings us back to the contact points I mentioned earlier. Something a lot of you guys also pointed out in the comments. Now, looking at the old versus the new one, I'm now 100% sure that the old one's broken, because I wasn't sure yet last time I looked at it, but now that I can compare both, I'm 100% sure. Before I bolt down this ignition point, I need a feeler gauge to properly adjust it, but I don't have it, so Pascal's picking that up right now. So in the meantime, I'm going to replace these wires. Yes, I could have waited for Pascal to get back so he could first test it with just the contact points replaced, but at this point we were done taking chances. We really wanted to get this Beetle running today instead of waiting another week to try again. So I went ahead and replaced the spark plug wires as well. With the old set of wires we had to remove the terminals from the end of the spark plugs, but for these new ones we actually needed them back on again, so luckily we hadn't thrown them away. With Pascal back, we finally had a set of feeler gauges so we could properly install and set the new contact points. And that's something we actually had to look up first, because neither of us has ever done this before. So once again, we took a moment to make sure we understood what we were doing before just guessing our way through it. And after that we went ahead and installed a new rotor and distributor cap as well. Because like I said, at this point we really just wanted to get this car running today. And honestly, with how affordable these Beetle parts are compared to the cars we usually work on, maybe this is something we should have just done right from the start. But on the other hand, if we had replaced everything right away, we probably wouldn't have learned nearly as much. So in a way, this is actually more fun too. Now it was almost time for another start attempt, but first we wanted to hook up the new fuel pump properly. Somehow we managed to lose the fuel line we installed last time, so we had to cut a new one. And of course this one turned out to be a bit tighter, which made getting it onto the fuel pump just that little bit more frustrating than expected. So for our own entertainment, we let the cameraman have a go at it. Pretty shaky. Such a great mechanic.
Nou, dan gaat deze.
So just put it in, boy.
Wrong choice of words there.
Yeah.
Okay, all of the new parts installed?
Ja.
Think it will start?
Nope.
Me neither. You want to try?
Yeah, one way to find out.
Oké.
Go for gold.
Hey. Yo, it wants to start. Yo. Sick.
Smells really bad in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of works.
Yeah. Didn't expect that. Yeah. And just like that, after sitting for nearly 20 years, this Beetle was alive again. Honestly, hearing it run for the first time felt so surreal. But of course, before we can take it out for a drive, there's one last thing left to do: putting the hood back on. And yes, that does mean covering up the engine we've just spent all this time rebuilding, but at the same time it actually feels like a bit of a milestone. Because this is the final piece we need to install for now, to finally wrap up this project. Engine's running, hood's finally in place, so it finally looks like a car again. And now all we have left to do, but what we want to do next is adjust the carburetor. But for that, it needs to go outside, so let's go and take this car outside, finally.
Alright, chef, go ahead.
Alright, little change of plans, because we wanted to take this car out for a spin, but we decided to put it on a lift first so we can take a look at it. And first thing we noticed is that the throttle cable just slips out or something. So we're going to take a look at that first.
So there, yeah. So it looks like it's supposed to be in here, right?
Yeah,
See that?
yeah.
Something like that. And it's not that difficult, I believe, because it's how do you say that? Just a hose where the throttle cable is running through is loose. So we need a way to tighten it down so we can give throttle.
A quick look on the internet taught us we were missing a part. Luckily, Pascal came up with a temporary fix.
So I made a couple straps around like a hook that's on the gearbox where you can lift it, with something. So I pulled a little strap around there on the cable. Oh,
Sounds like it works.
For now I think it's good.
Well, at least we can test drive then.
Yeah, we will see what happens. Okay, so now then maybe put a little air in the tires because it's sitting for quite a while. So that's closed.
As you'd expect, after all those years of sitting, the tires had completely lost their air pressure. So giving them a quick pump up felt like a pretty good place to start. And after that, we decided to play it safe and double check that all the wheels were properly torqued down. I think everything's back together, so I wanted to go for a test drive.
Yeah, let's try it.
Are you scared?
No, but yeah, I'm actually excited. I want to drive it.
Yeah, me too.
So
Let's go.
yeah, let's do it.
Can't wait.
change only the fuel gauge isn't working anymore, but yeah, we know we put gas in it, so it will be fine.
Yeah. It used to work. Oh no, it's going. It's going.
Ah,
You got fuel now. Ah, we need some new tires.
coming from the rear axle, I think.
Yeah.
It's wobbling, you know, Mark.
It's so wobbly. But I think it's sick that this car's driving.
Yeah, it's a bit unreal again.
Does it feel the same as it did 20 years ago?
I cannot remember, man. It's too long ago.
Yeah. Well, I think it wasn't this wobbly because it's horrible to drive right now.
Yes.
So we gotta get some new tires. But we had to get those anyway.
I think it's just something that's clunking against the chassis or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's a real... Yeah, you see if you...
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a weird clunking.
Clunk.
Yeah, but it could also be a shock that's completely blown, you know, because
Yeah.
the car is wobbling and you cannot see that because if the shock is that blown, the wheel actually is going like this. So if
Yeah.
the shock is blown, then you hear that. So I hope it's the shock,
Yeah.
but it makes a horrible noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as I did want to drive it,
Yeah, I
Not so
don't want
much
to drive it anymore. No, no, no. Not today.
Oh, yeah, but what do you expect, you know? It's been sitting so long.
Yeah. The engine's doing fine though.
Yeah, it would be weird if everything is still okay and in good order after so many years.
Yeah.
Oh my
True.
god, it's wobbling all around.
Yeah, yeah, it's super wobbly.
Oh. But it's running good, so that's nice. What we did good.
Yeah. We rebuilt a flat Ford.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's something else for a change.
I'm a parketeer.
Yeah. It's nice now.
Yeah, it runs good.
Turn it off. Ah, silence.
Oh. Yeah, so first drive. Yeah. What do you think? Shit.
Well, the engine's doing great, and that's the most important part because that's what we spent all this time
Yeah.
doing. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's nice.
Put
We
it
did
up,
a great job.
Yeah. So let's get out because it's getting hot.
Yeah. And it stinks. So, when test driving, it was running fine, the engine. When we just started it, it kept stalling, so I thought we had to adjust the carburetor, but it turns out it's running fine now and it's also idling. So I don't think we have to adjust the carburetor anymore.
Well, let's see how it goes first. Maybe we can fine tune it later, but for
Yeah.
now it's good.
But I think there's something else that we do need to do.
Yeah.
Maybe give it a little wash.
Yeah, let's do that.
After sitting still for nearly 20 years, this Beetle has finally made it back onto the road again. And honestly, it still feels a little strange seeing it move under its own power. Over the past few weeks, this project slowly went from a forgotten car in the garage to something that's actually alive again. Of course, there are still some small things left to finish, a few details to reinstall, a few things to tidy up, but the hard part, the part that kept this car off the road for all those years, is finally behind us. So before looking at those last few things, we figured this Beetle had earned something it hasn't had in a very long time, a proper wash. Well, that looks a whole lot better, but it just started raining, so let's get this car back inside to let it dry and then we can finally see it shine again. Well, still a couple more things to do, but it
Yeah.
is driving.
Yeah, I think.
New tires.
Yeah, you know, even though we put air in because they were basically all four flat, it's still wobbly as hell.
Yeah,
so
after
I think
20 years.
they've gone square throughout the years from sitting
Yeah,
and being flat.
but that's
obviously.
an easy fix.
Yeah, and then I think we just need to do the lights. You know, every bulb, just put a new one in because
Yeah.
it's so old. I think
Just
basically that's it. We did test the brakes.
Yeah, that
And
was good.
They were good, so that's nice. So yeah, I think that
Most
we
important job's done.
yeah, I think we should do that first.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't see anything immediately needs attention.
Not really, actually. It was fun to drive it, and it feels a bit
It was fun
surreal,
to,
I think.
to drive it.
Well, after months spent on this car,
Yeah,
yes, it was fun to drive
it, and it is. Yeah, it's like paying off because we did put a lot of work in it, and it was a little bit of a hell at first, but
It was, but we learned a whole lot.
yeah,
And we've never done anything like this before, and this gives me the confidence that we can do
yeah,
more serious jobs in the future,
yeah,
I hope.
yeah. I think.
But
Yeah,
that
we
was
will
cool.
see.
We did some good work, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that pretty much says it all. Because when we first pulled this car out of the garage, this is exactly what we were hoping for. Not just to get it running again, but to actually understand what it needed. And along the way, that turned out to be a lot more challenging than we expected. But at the same time, that's what made it so rewarding in the end. We didn't just replace parts, we figured things out, made mistakes, learned from them, and slowly got closer to the result we were after. And a big part of that is thanks to you guys. Your tips and suggestions genuinely helped us track down the problem and get this Beetle running again. So if you've been following along, thank you for that. If you enjoyed this series, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to follow along with the next project, because we're definitely not done yet. For now, I think this Beetle has earned its second chance, and I can't wait to get started on the next project car.